Right, start again. Hi. So Jean-Pierre said, I've been with the Super Affiliate Network for just over a year, probably about 13 months now. And I had a great deal of success when I first joined. And, you know, at the time, I must admit, I wasn't really, I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have any particular focus as to what I was doing. I was just putting stuff out on Facebook. But when I look back and I break it down and I can see what I was doing right and why it worked so well. And then once I've reverse engineered that, I realized fairly recently, I can actually replicate that. And if I can replicate that, you can replicate that. So I thought today I would give you a breakdown of why Facebook worked so powerfully for me, because it worked before I started running solos. I had my first sale within 24 hours with the Super Affiliate Network. Yeah, I think my first pro sale was 2 days later.
Who was that?
That was Siddharth.
Right.
And my second pro sale was Alice Reddy.
Yep.
Who is also on this call. So I'm glad to have you here, Alice. It's great to have you. And the reason, so I thought I would touch on, I had a little chat with Julian before everyone was on here actually, and he said exactly this, which was really coincidental because it was exactly the thing I was going to talk about first. Now, the reason the Super Affiliate Network converts so well with other people in the business opportunity arena is because it's the way Misha explains things, okay? He gives us a system to follow, which is ABC. He gets rid of all the fluff, all the overwhelm, and he really gives us something that we can get our teeth into. And it's really important to understand that before I move forward. Now, the thing is, I had been online marketing for 9 months prior. I've been with another opportunity. I'm not going to mention names because it seems that there is an issue across all the big name opportunities, and that is that people are struggling. They're overwhelmed. You know, they don't know where to start. They don't, you know, they're not getting the mindset grounding. They're not getting sort of this really simple system. This is how you get leads. This is how you convert leads into sales. You know, we didn't get any training like that. And that is why when people come in from other business opportunities, they get it straight away. So unbeknownst to me at the time, I had built out an ecosystem on Facebook that was full of people in the business opportunity arena. Okay, so they were primarily from my original business opportunity, and that's where pretty much everyone came in from. But I just want to say, firstly, I wasn't going into inboxes. The only two people were Sid and Alice, because they were like my best friends in the last opportunity. We were on a mastermind together. We used to talk weekly, if not daily, about stuff. So obviously, as soon as I found the Super Affiliate Network, who were the first people I told? Oh my God, guys, you've got to check this out. It's a $1 trial, although it's $7 now, but it's a $1 trial. You've got nothing to lose. You will be blown away by what you see, because the first couple of modules, I just remember going, oh my God, light bulb moment. You know, it was just all beginning to make sense to me. Everything was beginning to slot in. And this is why the Super Affiliate Network is such a powerful network to be a part of. So what I want to talk to you about today is thinking about your ecosystem on Facebook. Okay, you need to be connected to the right people so the right people see the messages. I will talk about content as well, but I really think this is the foundation. This is where you need to start. And if you haven't started doing it, and it's great because you know, you're friended to a lot of people within the Super Affiliate Network, and that's a good start. But I want to kind of talk about how you can find the right people to bring into your world. I think the initial thing you need to understand with social media, it's about relationships. And when you build those relationships, the leads, they're not leads. They're virtually instant. You know, the sales, they're you know, it converts fast and it usually converts high. I would say probably 60–70% of people that come from Facebook go pro virtually straight away. That is how powerful Facebook is. So you want to think about that. So if you've come from another opportunity and you're already got all these people, you know, that you're friended to from that other opportunity, you've got a head start, okay? You've got a head start. If you haven't, It's fine. We'll get you started, okay? Now, the thing to look for, you can do this. And by the way, it doesn't have to be just Facebook. This could be any social media platform. In fact, I would say it's a hell of a lot easier to find the right people on Instagram and Twitter than it probably is on Facebook, because you just follow those people who are following perhaps a leader in another opportunity, who are perhaps following, people that you are following. Think about the people you're following, because you are going to resonate. If you're going to come out with the same sort of messages, you're going to resonate with people who are following the same sort of things that you do, if you see what I mean. You're going to find your tribe a lot quicker that way. So, on Twitter and on Instagram, you just simply go through, you make it part of your DMO, your daily method of operation, and you add whatever, don't overgo the limit, because that's when accounts start getting shut down. So, you add 20, 30, 40 people a day who are following those people, in a certain opportunity. On Facebook, it's not quite as simple, but we do have Facebook pages. And if you go to those Facebook pages and look where the conversations are taking place, then you can start leaving comments on those pages. People will start recognizing your name. So when you send a friend request, you can actually strike up conversations if you want to. But I tend to just friend people, after just leaving a few comments. They'll sort of recognize your name. They'll know you're in the same sort of area as they are. And, usually they'll accept. There's not usually very many issues. I actually don't friend anyone anymore, because I get all the friend requests myself. And when I now accept, I vet them, because there are a lot of fake profiles. Always check the profiles first. And look, if they've got a nice stream of stuff coming on their news feed, it's the same sort of things that you talk about, and that's fine. I add them to my, Facebook family, if you will. Now we've got Tim on the call here, and I wanted to talk about Tim because he's one of my most recent ones. So if you think this is just something that happens to get you out the gate, yes, you do get that catalyst if you're already connected to those people. But Tim and I only connected fairly recently on Facebook. He saw a video of mine. He obviously liked who I was. He felt there was a trust there. We talk about no like trust a lot and video, but I'll touch on that later. And, based on what Tim saw, he just decided to have a look at the Super Affiliate Network. And, as far as I know, you really like what you see, Tim. So, and Tim himself, if you look at his profile, he's a fantastic internet marketer. He's out there doing interviews, doing videos, putting the right stuff out there. Now, I talk about relationships. I talk to people on Facebook. It's kind of where I hang out all the time. I don't bother with any other social media because, frankly, it's just too much effort. I can't be bothered. I've got enough on my plate. I don't want to go there. My motto, don't work hard, work smart. And for me, that is, my people, my peeps are all on Facebook. And, wherever you prefer to hang out, that's where your people are. This is where you need to do this stuff. Now, as far as I'm concerned, when I am posting content, and I will go deeper into this, Facebook's my list. Okay, Facebook is my list. I don't send them to a capture page. Most people in the biz opportunity thing, they know that if you're putting a freebie out there, it's because they want your name on a list. So they're not stupid. I just stick the sales page up there, quite frankly. But I will sort of give you some rules, do's and don'ts of what to do with your content, because we all hate spammers. I think everybody who's probably on this call hates the spammers, who just constantly post advert after advert after advert. And you've got to think of your Facebook page or your whatever social media as a TV channel. And if all you're getting is churning out advert after advert after advert after advert, you're going to switch off. You want to be entertained. You want stuff that you're interested in. You want stuff that's going to make you laugh. So think of it as a TV channel. It's a really good analogy. And, if you follow that pattern of probably 80% of stuff that's interesting, that's funny, that's, in fact, entertainment, making people laugh is probably the highest quality value you can give, believe it or not, because it keeps people tuned in. Okay, if you're putting stuff out there that people resonate with, that they're enjoying, it will keep them tuned in. So, okay. So we've talked about how to build your ecosystem, how to find the right people to connect with. Okay. So you do this slowly, and if you haven't done it, you know, if you're just starting, this is going to take a little bit of time, but it will be worth it, I promise you. Now, you might choose to start a separate Facebook profile, which is fine, but I do feel I should tell you that in Facebook world, it's illegal. I do have two. Don't tell anyone what she says on Facebook Live. But I've actually, it's because I basically wanted to draw a line. I had a lot of all my old family stuff, all my, you know, really personal stuff. And I decided I want to build a profile that's basically just for business. And it's got to a point now where I'm never on my other profile. And in fact, I've deactivated it. So I'm kind of safe now that I've only got the one active profile. You might want to do that if you prefer to keep something separate. And actually, I started my business profile probably about 2 months before I joined the Super Affiliate Network. So I was still building at that time. Okay, so it doesn't take long actually to get these people into your world. All right, so let's talk about content. Now let's talk about the content where we're talking about your adverts, when you're talking about your opportunity. I would say, you know, you don't ever directly want to talk about your opportunity. What you want to do is always frame it with something. And I think this is, again, looking back at what I did, how I broke it down, this is why, you know, I was quite successful, because I always kind of framed it either in a blog post, in a video, but I always put something of interest that was not just about the opportunity. There were a few posts that were just about the opportunity, and I'll talk about that as well. But for example, you know, guys, I'm into the woo-woo. I love the law of attraction. I love, you know, feng shui. I love the whole, you know, mystical, wonderful, magical world that we live in. And I remember one of the most successful videos I did, and because it was no word of a lie as well, I'd actually cleared out my abundance corner according to feng shui, put all the right crystals in there, gave it a clean up, cleared out some horrible stuff in that corner. And it was 2 days later I actually signed up with the Super Affiliate Network. So I made a video about, you know, how feng shui has changed my life, and all of a sudden, you know, I've got this abundance coming in. It was a few weeks down the line, obviously, after I've been with Sam, because I'd already made a few $1,000s. And that's how I framed it. You know, if you talk about things that you love, that you're passionate about, and you can frame it in some way, you know, this, it's enabled me to do this, which I love. You know, this is how you should present your successes. And guys, if you haven't had your own successes yet, you can talk about other people's. Okay, it's okay to do that. But, you know, if you are, like for me, I'm a work at home mum, work, she says in inverted commas, you know, because I don't do a lot of that, to be honest. But, you know, I remember I was taking live videos out in the garden with my kids with a gin and tonic in my hand and saying, oh, isn't this great? You know, I get to, while everyone else is in the office, I get to sit in the garden, get a few rays and watch the kids run around while, you know, I have a few sips of my gin and tonic. And then I just had I think because live had just started then, and I was dipping my toe in and started having a conversation and that sort of thing, you know. And then in the comments, I'll just whack in my affiliate link. And it's stuff like that. Always frame it with something else. And always put in your link and, you know, to your sales page. If you want to do the capture page thing, that's absolutely fine. For me, I just feel it's an extra step. You know, people are nosy. They want to know what you're doing. Don't talk about it too much, you know, because you do want to create that curiosity. But give them an opportunity just to go straight in, because they're on your list. You know, they're in Facebook, they're on your list, and they're already following you. They don't need emails from you as well. So, you know, so there's that. Writing blog posts, you know. I used to share Ace and Rich's successes as well, because I wanted people to realise it's not just me having success. People in my team who were having successes, you know, I'd share theirs as well. So, you know, don't be afraid to leverage that. And, you know, don't be afraid to put a spin on things, you know, that, hey, look, you know, I'm enjoying my life, and it's thanks to, you know, being able to work at home, that sort of thing. This is probably the most important thing, okay? Don't overthink it. Just be you. All right, just be you. Talk about the things that interest you. Talk about the things that make you come alive. Talk about the things that you're passionate about. Talk about the things you love. It doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't matter. I saw a post in our Maui group, actually, and the lady sort of said, you know, well, I don't really want to frame myself as this. And I sort of said, well, it's who you are, though. You know, this is your story. And people are going to, who resonate with you, are going to really attach themselves because of your story. You know, you can't make your story up. It's who you are. It's part of your life, you know. And actually, when it's so much a part of you, that's what people like, because you can talk about that passionately. So, you know, the other thing is, I know I talk about video a lot, okay, and if you are comfortable on getting out on video, do it. I wasn't good at this. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you had told me this time last year that I was going to be presenting live, you know, shows, the Freedom Call on for the Super Brilliant Network, I would have laughed.
It's a circle.
I think that was actually my husband and my son.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So, you know, I don't always put out video. You know, for the last 2 months, because I haven't been feeling well, I haven't been doing video at all. I just haven't felt up to it. I've been doing these, you know, because you're special. But I've just been putting posts on Facebook, the odd picture. You know, only post stuff. If you see something that makes you really laugh, post it. You know, just share it. If it makes you laugh, it's going to make someone else laugh. And people are more likely to stay tuned in. They're more likely to follow you. If you find a really useful blog post that's not even your content, share it. You know, I shared a Frank Kern blog post a couple of weeks ago. It was just about how to write a really good blog post, but so many people thanked me for sharing it. And if you're always sharing stuff that's really good value, even if it's not your own, they're going to stay tuned in. And I don't know, we hear about Facebook algorithms, okay? So Facebook algorithms work on your profile as well. And if people are not liking and commenting and what have you, your stuff is not going to show up in their newsfeed, right? And the way you also get to engage other people is to like and comment on their stuff too. And be genuine, okay? I mean, I scroll through and I think, oh yeah, I like that. And that, you know, I always comment. And I've also heard, I don't know if this is true or not, that actually using one of the emoticons, instead of just hitting a like on a post, if you do a love or a, you know, a funny face or something, one of those, that actually goes higher in the rankings of the algorithms. So that if you're doing it for other people, you know, it looks good on you to Facebook. If you see what I mean. So that was something I've heard. I don't know if that's true, but actually it probably makes sense, you know, because you're just lingering a little bit longer over that post and you're taking the time to pick something other than like, you know, you can't just go through and hit like. Facebook are catching on to these things. They know that you're just doing it, you know, to try and get yourself seen in news feeds. So again, just be genuine, just be you, you know, talk about the things that you like, talk to the people you like. I mean, going back to Tim, of course, we'd never even spoken. I knew he was on Facebook. I'd seen him. We've got a mutual friend. And, you know, he just signed up. And I messaged him and I said, oh, my God, Tim, I can't believe you've signed up, you know, because I've seen you around. He's obviously seen me around. So you just never know who you're influencing, who you're appealing to, who resonates with your story. They're not always going to comment. You know, most people don't, to be honest. Virtually, apart from, you know, maybe 20% of people, most people just signed up. And I was just like, oh, wow, that person just signed up. I had no idea they were following me. So, you know, you think you're not getting any response. Actually, there are people out there watching you, I can guarantee it, because they like what you have to say. They resonate with you. And this is the big, big thing. So what you want to weigh up, about 80% of stuff that's just useful, good content, good information, can be your own, it can be somebody else's. And the 20% is then when you talk about your business, but you frame it and you wrap it up in a nice story. Sometimes, yeah, you know, you can get away with your post. And I remember when I ran my first solo ad, or it was the first co-op actually, and the leads were coming into my Aweber, and I got like 500 leads on one day. And to be honest, with all the other industries, you know, I was working with, that was unheard of. You know, people were like, what the hell are you doing? So I really recommend that little screenshot on your Aweber or whatever your, you know, your autoresponder you're using. When you run your first solo ad campaign and you get a shitload of leads, basically, post that. Or a shed load. Yeah, a lot. Post it, because the people who especially work in the BizOp business, they're just like, oh, how did you do that? And then pop it into a blog post and you can share it on your page, and you know, once it's in a blog post as well, of course you can keep resharing it as well further down the line, you know, so 6 months, you know, not all the time, but every few months you can just then repost that blog post. So I do recommend capturing things in blogs, because it can be reshared on a, you know, that it just keeps giving you content basically, and reminding people that, hey, you know, I'm in this really good opportunity and I'm getting a lot of leads, and, you know, I'm making sales. And you don't have to be making big sales, and you just have to be making sales for a lot of people is the breakthrough, you know. So so that's it. So I'm just checking my list here to make sure I've really covered it all. And yeah, you know, I've just put the words, embrace your weirdness. Just do it, just get out there, just be you. I talk a lot about inspired action, and I think before I joined SAN, I've talked about this before, and I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but I did a lot of inner work. And I think that really helped me with just being a little bit more creative with my posting. And again, I'm going to recommend it. You know, if you're not doing it, you're missing out. You know, it really helps you tap in doing meditation. It really just helps you come up with fresh ideas and those creative ideas. And I know Alice, who's on this call, I want to share this. She shared a post on Facebook today with her sitting next to some Joe Blogs on the train. And she actually was recognized from her Facebook videos in person. That's the power of video. That is the power of video. Now, I know not everybody, you know, wants to do video. Not everybody's comfortable doing video. This is one of these things you have to test it out. I wasn't comfortable doing video, but you have to try it. You have to try it, and you've got to work out if it's for you. If after, you know, having doing it for 30 days, you still think, oh my God, this is really not for me, then okay, maybe then, you know, you stick to doing great posts, okay, great blogs, great, just a text post on Facebook. You know, that's pretty much all I was doing the last couple of months. And I tell you, I've had my best month this year. I made $7,000 for May, $7,000. And I haven't been working for like 2 months apart from putting posts on Facebook. Yeah. You know, there's something there, isn't there? I haven't run any solo ads because I just couldn't be bothered. I was just, you know, I had ill kids, I was ill, and I was just putting your posts on Facebook. So that is how powerful it is. And I really, really hope that you've got some, you know, really good value out of that. Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. It's a lot easier than you think, really. Just talk about things that tickle you. Talk about things that make you laugh. Talk about things that, you know, you love doing, that you're passionate about, that you like to talk about. And if you're worried that people are going to think you're weird, I'm sorry, you've got to get over it, because that weirdness will attract your perfect customer. It will attract the people who love you. It will attract the people who really think you're cool. And at the end of the day, aren't those the people we want to work with? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know if anybody has got any questions. I know I've flown through it quite quickly. So I just wanted to just put it out there. If anyone wants to ask any questions, you know, stick them in the Facebook chat. If we don't address it here, you know, I can always come back to you later. So I just, you know, I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, so either the Facebook chat or on the Zoom chat if you're here on the Zoom call.
Absolutely, yeah. Alex says, I embrace my weirdness. Good for you, Alex.
And Mary, I think you mean attractive character, not active character. But attractive character, absolutely.
Yes, exactly that, Mary, exactly that. And talking a little bit about that, that's the other thing, you know, Super Affiliate Network. I know we're predominantly taught about doing solo ads, right? That's the basic boot camp training. Doesn't mean you can't do anything else, right? And actually, I would say just, you know, find the thing that really works for you, find the thing that really resonates with you. You know, if you're really, really happy doing solo ads, and that's absolutely fine, no problem, you know, they work. But I have to say, I love Facebook, and for me, that's not work, that's just play. So, and if you can make what you do play, you've got it. That's the key. That is the key.
Yeah, the base stuff, the base of learning in the Super Affiliate Network, these are the basic fundamentals. This is what Misha has used specifically and solely to build himself up into the multiple seven-figure level in, I mean, 3 years. Like 3 years ago, almost to the date, he was at NES 5. He spent his last few dollars, maxed out credit cards. He barely had enough money to eat one meal a day at the buffet, and he didn't have enough money to get the plane flight home. He had to borrow money from his dad, and he was at NES 5. It's a really big marketing event, and I believe it was in Las Vegas at that time. And now here, 3 years later, NES 8 is in a few days. It's next weekend. So, I mean, he's already earning multiple seven figures, and he used just solo ads doing that. So if you master the basics, this is business. You may not love everything, but you have to find the stuff that you're really passionate about to make the business really fun for you. Like Karen's talking about Facebook. Like, she loves Facebook, loves doing Facebook. So, I mean, you have to carve out your niche after you learn the basics and master them, and that'll make it worthwhile for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mary's just posted an interesting question as to, will I keep going when Facebook stops working? Well, if Facebook stops working, then I think probably the whole internet has stopped working. I think there's been a solar flare or something that sent out a big electromagnetic wave, and then we're all in the shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But, you know, I know people get Facebook accounts shut down, but what I've just told you is about providing value, not spamming. Spammers get shut down. Okay, they just get their accounts closed because nobody wants to see that. You know, the way I've told you how to present, you know, what you're doing is you know, it's informational, it's enjoyable. People like to read about it. You know, sharing other people's successes. Like I say, stick to the 80-20 rule. The other 80% is just stuff you enjoy sharing, you know, and it keeps people engaged and they agree with you, and they, you know, I mean, you know, I know Misha talks a lot about being polarizing, and that is a good thing, but I do tend to steer away from things like politics and religion. Yes, I have my own spiritual beliefs, and I talk about those a lot, but, you know, I don't get, because those sort of things get very, you know, rah-rah and everything else, and I just can't be doing with conflicts and that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm kind of a-religious and apolitical anyway, so, you know, no. Yeah, so any more questions? Yeah, is there any on Facebook there, Jean-Pierre? I don't know.
For me, I see the live, but it's still showing preview, and I'm not seeing new comments pop up. So I don't see any on Zoom. So I think we're ready to wrap it up. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining me again, guys. It's been real pleasure talking to you all, and I really hope you got something from this. Just don't make it too hard. Just enjoy it. Absolutely. Absolutely.